Hey there, it's Jen, and I'm back to create another layout for Pink Paislee using the Whimsical collection. You can see I've got stuff on my desk already. I'm just keeping on going from another project, but I'm going to use these two photos of my friend CJ after she just got her hair done, and it's more red, which I like because she's a natural redhead, so I want to talk about that. And then I am using this cut file, so it should be a quick layout because I'm just going to overlay it paper number 19, which has all of these different patterns, which are fun to punch out and stuff, but they also work really well for backing a cut file because there's tons of different patterns underneath here, and you get a lot of different colors with just one paper, so you don't have to back all of the different layers. So I think stuff like this works better with photos that have a lot of white space in them or that are very clear or black and white. So just a little suggestion there, and I will put you on fast forward and talk you through my process.
Alright, so I'm going to start by somewhat tediously cutting some foam strips to add to the back of this cut file. This is probably what took me the very longest on this layout. This is the only part I skipped through, and I sped up only 3 times, and it's about 10 minutes. So this layout took me 30 minutes besides adding all that foam tape, but you could definitely use adhesive foam squares instead if you wanted to save time. It's just more cost effective to use those foam strips, and so I like using those. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to get off a little mark that I made on my cut file there, and I love that little sand eraser. I'll try to remember to link to it in the video description. You can erase little bits and pieces of like stray ink and things like that, or just dirt that you get in the way. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding a white border to my photos because I feel like I want them to stand out a little bit more. And so I just added a really thin white border, and I'm trimming that down with my We Are Memory Keepers guillotine trimmer, which I love. And then those pink pieces are from a cut apart sheet. So you can see that one's 4x6 and the other two are 3x4-ish. And I'm just using them to layer up the same color on the background layers of this layout because I like the way that adding layers gives texture, but I don't want it to be too busy because the background is so busy. So I just added layers of the same paper. And now I am using these glorious foam thickers for my title, and this is my first time using them, and they are so gorgeous. I love them so much. I usually have a hard time with multicolored thickers, not these ones. These are amazing. So I used that for my title, Redhead Cutie, and I've got that on wax paper, and now I'm kind of trying to go through some of the stickers to decide what else I might want to add to this. I know that it's going to be fairly simple, and so I am trying to just not to over embellish it, and I'm going to keep everything close to the photos because I don't want to overwhelm the rest of the layout. So I'm adding a few of these little border strips that are from the sticker booklet, and there's a bunch of borders at the background that are kind of cut like tape, and they're really cute and easy to use. And I'm trying to decide now where I'm going to put that title, and I'm thinking I'm going to overlap it onto the photos, which is another reason it's great to use photos that don't have a lot going on in the background or that have a lot of white space, because then you can overlap your title onto there, and then, like I mentioned before, that kind of cuts down on the busyness by adding the title on the photos rather than adding it onto that busy background. So I'm just putting those letters down, and I've just got a variety of colors that I think look cute. I'm moving over the word cutie because it was not centered, and that would bother me, so just trying to get that straight. And I'm liking the way this is looking so far. I have a couple of those strips at the top and a couple at the bottom. I'm bringing in a little bit of that copper, so I decided to add a copper heart below my title. And then I'm just going to glue that down. And I'm putting this in the lower right because in that right-hand photo, she is looking to the left, and I want her to be looking into the layout. And so she is not a flowery or pink kind of gal. There's already a lot of pink on this page, and I make pages about her that have a lot of pink, and I don't care. But I thought for this one specifically I would use some blue because that's just more her style, even though I'm using flowers. So I did find this fox that was so cute, and foxes are often red, and so I thought about the fox I know this one's not, but just in relation to her, and the way that it rests right on top of the title just makes my heart so happy. So I'm going to use that. And then I'm pulling out all of the blue and green flowers here, and I definitely didn't need to pull all these out because I'm only going to use, I think, 1 or 2. But I pulled them all out, and so we're going to play around for a minute and see what I can come up with. I definitely, as I mentioned, like that fox and the way that it fits around the title, so I'm immediately going to adhere that. And I'm just using some thin foam tape that's from close to my heart. And I'm almost out of that roll, which makes me a little sad. I love thin foam adhesive. And then I like the way that looks, so I'm going to go ahead and just adhere it down. And again, the way the tail curves around the R there is just magic. I love when things nestle like that. And if you've watched my videos, you probably know that. So I'm going to use this floral that has kind of the blue and the aqua. And because I'm only using a bit of it, I cut the bottom half off, and I'm going to use the bottom half of it on the bottom part of the photos. So that's a great way to either extend your die cuts if you want to have more, or if you want to, like, if you don't like being wasteful, but also if you want to get a similar look and you don't have another die cut that looks the same, that's another great way to do it. So I'm adding a few leaves behind the fox, and I'm thinking of adding a few leaves around that bottom floral piece. It's not quite working, so I take them off. But I'm going to add some word strips. That one, I think it's either from the die cut pack or I had cut it out of one of the pattern papers, and that pink one. I just wanted to add just a little bit of pink, and then I'm going to add the clouds here in the blues and greens. They're mostly blue, but I just thought those were a cute little thing to add. Since I had the fox and the flowers, they seemed outdoorsy kind of. And I'm thinking I need another little shot of pink maybe, just to balance the pink that the word strip that I put below the photo. And so I'm trying to figure out what I need for that. And I'm thinking a little heart would be really cute, but I can't quite decide where to put it, so I keep pulling it off and putting it back on. Here's a bit of a larger one, and I decide finally to put that kind of nestled in between the leaves on the right hand side of that floral on the top. And then I am thinking about what other embellishments I might want to add. This is almost done here. I'm not going to add too much. I did put a ruler in there, although now you can't tell it's a ruler, but I thought a haircut went with a ruler. And then I'm going to look for, I think there's some scissors that I'm going to add to, which you don't often get to use scissors, I feel like, on a lot of layouts, and so I thought that would be nice to add. So I added a little star that's in that coppery color, because I wanted to add a little bit more of that. And here are the scissors, so I'm going to add those as well down here at the bottom, and that's kind of a lot more pink, so I look for a different color, and I end up using those blue ones that are from the sticker pack instead. And so I'm going to, I think, pop up that little tiny heart so it has a little more presence. And oh, actually, I'm not even popping it up. I'm just making it rest with because I popped up the whole background, I'm making it rest in line with it. So this is pretty much done. What I decide to do now is my journaling on top of the photo with a white pen, because again, I'm trying to minimize the busyness because of all that's going on the background. And then when I'm done with that, I'm just going to add a couple more little things and kind of rough up the edges of my layers, and I'm going to add a little bit of spray mist, and really that's going to complete this layout. So again, this took me about 30 minutes to make, which is very fast. So if you use a cut file, what I like to do is cut a bunch of cut files and then use them whenever I want to, so I don't have to take the time to cut one out when I'm working. I mean, sometimes I still do that, but I like to have them binge cut so that I can just use them when I feel like it, and that works well for me. So again, simple, quick layout, even though it looks intricate. Here's some gold mist, and then I have some close-up photos for you. At the very end of this video, I've included a few more videos that you might like where I used large cut files on my background, and I will link to all available products in the video description below as usual. As always, thanks so much for watching, and if you like what you see, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you can see more from me each week. Also, don't forget to check out my Crafty Use It or Lose It Facebook group, where we have a community of people sharing fabulous ideas, and that link is in my profile as well. I hope to see you back here again very, very soon, and thanks for stopping by.